February 28th, 1997, Los Angeles, California. You are a news helicopter pilot. You just got an emergency call. Bank robbery in progress, North Hollywood. You've covered 100 of these. Drunk guy with a note. Nervous kid in a hoodie. In and out in 4 minutes. You think nothing of it. Then you look down. 2 men. Full body armor. Automatic rifles. Firing into a line of police cars like it's a video game they already know how to beat. The LAPD, one of the most powerful police forces on the planet, is losing. And you're watching it live on television. Here's the thing nobody tells you about that day. Those 2 men walked into that bank expecting $750,000. They left with zero, not a single dollar. And somehow, they still changed America forever. This is blood currency. Follow the money. Let's back up, way up, 2 guys, 1 gym. Larry Phillips Jr. grew up in California the way a lot of criminals do, watching other people get rich and deciding there had to be a faster way. He read about heists, studied military tactics, collected guns the way normal people collect sneakers. At some point, he started pulling small-time scams, property fraud, nothing big, nothing that would make the news. Then in 1989, a 350-pound Romanian immigrant named Emil walked into Gold's Gym in Pasadena. Emil had been bullied his whole life, born with a heart condition, couldn't exercise as a kid, but somewhere along the way, he decided that being underestimated was a strategy, not a weakness. Larry saw that. 2 guys, same gym, same guns, same idea. They started small, convenience stores, cash couriers, nothing too ambitious. Think of it like starting a business. You don't open a franchise on day 1, you start with a food truck, test the market, build the operation. But here's where the money trail gets interesting. In 1993, they graduated. Armored car ambush, clean job, tens of thousands of dollars, proof of concept. They were ready to scale. 3 months later, police pulled them over for speeding. Inside the car, 2 rifles, 2 handguns, 3,000 rounds of ammunition, smoke grenades, police scanners, IEDs, fake license plates, and 2 full sets of body armor. That's not a speeding ticket. That's a lifestyle. They got a short sentence, lost all their gear, and as convicted felons, they could no longer legally own firearms. Most criminals would have taken the hint. Larry and Emil took notes. By 1995, they had crossed a line they couldn't uncross, killing a security guard during an armored car robbery. By 1996, they had robbed 2 Bank of America branches with military-grade firepower. In and out in minutes, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They weren't just criminals anymore. They were professionals. And now they had a target. Bank of America, Laurel Canyon Boulevard, largest branch in North Hollywood. Here's why they picked it. And this is a part that would make any financial analyst nod. The location was basically a business decision. Highway access to the east for a fast getaway. A shopping mall full of civilians to the west, human shields that would make cops think twice before shooting. Quiet residential streets as backup escape routes. They weren't robbing a bank. They were executing a logistics plan. The inventory they brought: 3 fully automatic AK-47s fitted with 100 round drum magazines, a modified M16, an HK-91 battle rifle, over 3,000 rounds of ammunition, and Kevlar body armor reinforced with steel plates on the chest and back. Larry also wrapped his arms, legs, and groin in makeshift padding. By comparison, the average LAPD officer carried a 9mm pistol with 3 magazines, 15 rounds each. Let me put that in perspective for you. The LAPD brought a butter knife to a sword fight. The plan? Enter the bank, control the room, force the vault open, grab $750,000, be gone in 8 minutes. Before police could even get there, 8 minutes. They had sewn watch faces into their gear to time it perfectly. Let's break it down. $750,000, military weapons, sewn in watches. These men didn't rob banks. They IPO'd crime. This was their Series B. If you've been watching Blood Currency and you want to see how 2 men turned a gym friendship into a military operation and still lost everything, hit subscribe. We follow the money so you don't have to. February 28th, 9:16 a.m., Larry and Emil step out of a white Chevrolet Celebrity in the bank parking lot. They've taken phenobarbital, a seizure medication, to calm their nerves. That's how serious they are. They're not anxious, they're medicated for precision. Larry spots a patrol car drifting past Laurel Canyon. He hesitates, then decides to push forward anyway. That was the first mistake. Inside, Larry grabs a man at the ATM, fires into the ceiling. Emil knocks the lock off the teller door, drags the assistant manager to the vault. And that's where the plan falls apart. Instead of one big vault, dozens of individual lockboxes, each with its own key, and the $750,000 cash delivery they were counting on, randomized. It wasn't there. The vault is half empty. Emil starts ripping open every box he can find. What does he end up with? $303,000, less than half of what they planned for, and 3 die packs hidden inside the cash bundles. They don't know that yet. 8 minutes in, Larry steps outside. 20 LAPD officers are already in position. They've covered the north and west exits, the mall, the highway. The 8-minute window is gone. Larry raises his AK-47, and Los Angeles becomes a war zone. For 4 straight minutes, Larry Phillips stands in the middle of Laurel Canyon Boulevard in the open, firing hundreds of rounds at police vehicles. Officers shoot back. Bullets hit him directly. His body armor absorbs every single one. Their 9mm rounds are bouncing off of him. Emil joins him outside. Together, they wound multiple officers, graze civilians. News helicopters scramble overhead. 6 of them. Millions of Americans are watching this live. Then it happens. Emil is running for the getaway car when the 3 die packs detonate inside the duffel bag. $303,000. Gone. Covered in red ink in an instant. Their entire payday. Destroyed. Larry doesn't even flinch. He leaves the bag on the ground and keeps shooting. Let's break it down. They planned for $750,000. Got $303,000. Lost it all to a die pack. The ROI on this operation was -0. They spent years building this heist and walked away with literally nothing. Even the worst hedge fund manager beats that. Here's where it gets insane. For the next 20 minutes, Larry Phillips, shot multiple times, bleeding from at least 3 wounds, continues fighting hundreds of LAPD officers alone. Emil has recovered near the getaway car. The money is gone. The car has 2 flat tires. But somehow, they're still not done. At one point, Larry runs out of ammunition for his AK-47. He switches to his HK-91. Then that gets shot and the magazine jams. He switches to a 3rd rifle, illegally modified, malfunctioning after every few shots. He has to manually remove and reinsert the magazine every single time. He's been hit at least 7 times. His subclavian artery has been nicked. He's losing blood. He's fighting a battle he already lost. Emil tries to escape. He flags down a car, driver floors it and leaves. He forces a pickup truck to stop by firing through the windshield. Driver abandons it and runs. Emil climbs in. The keys are gone. SWAT rolls up. He's surrounded. A SWAT officer notices Emil's legs are unprotected below the body armor. He lays flat on the ground and fires 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. Emil goes down. He raises his hands. He survived the entire battle. 29 bullet wounds in his legs, only to bleed out on the pavement because officers refused to let medics through. He died face down in the street. The heist took 44 minutes. Larry, shot in the hand. Out of options. It was over. Let's break it down. Final score, Larry Phillips, dead. Emil, dead. Money recovered, $0. Bullets fired, over 2,000. And the most expensive part of this whole operation wasn't the weapons, the armor, or the years of planning. It was the die pack that cost about 12 cents. Here's the part that nobody talks about. The LAPD ran out of firepower. In the middle of the firefight, officers literally ran to a nearby gun store, broke in, and borrowed civilian AR-15s off the shelf because their department-issued weapons couldn't penetrate body armor from 200 feet. The most powerful police force in California was outgunned by 2 guys from a gym, and America watched every second of it on live TV. Within months, police departments across the country rewrote their entire weapons policy. AR-15s improved ammunition, ceramic trauma plates, in some extreme cases, armor-piercing rounds for patrol officers. The North Hollywood shootout didn't just end 2 criminal careers, it militarized American law enforcement. Every SWAT team you've seen since, every rifle in a police cruiser, every tactical vest on a beat cop. You can trace a direct line back to February 28, 1997, to a parking lot in North Hollywood, to 2 men who walked into a bank and walked out with nothing. Follow the money. Where did it actually go? Larry and Emil spent years, hundreds of thousands of dollars, weapons, armor, planning, all of it invested into one job. They got $0. But the US government, they got a blank check to arm every police department in the country. 2 guys with nothing to lose changed the way 800,000 cops do their job. Let's break it down one last time. Larry and Emil lost everything. The LAPD got a budget upgrade. America got a militarized police force. And somewhere, in a California evidence locker, there's a duffel bag stained red, a reminder that the most expensive mistakes aren't the ones that cost you money. They're the ones that cost everyone else. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did two criminals just give the government the excuse they were already looking for? This is Blood Currency. Follow the money.